What's up, everybody, and welcome to the latest Tournament of Doom. Challenge of Doom stream. I'm your host and tournament organizer, Senior Doom, also known as well, a lot of things. And you probably know me also from some of my artwork. You probably seen it on Twitter, probably seen it other places, probably seen it at one of our sponsors, doom-gaming.com. We're getting ready here for the first round of the Challenge of Doom, the bi-weekly 64 person 6-round challenge tournament, and we are about 2.5 minutes away, so we'll get that going here. As you can see here, everything is part of the Doom Champions League. We also do, if you haven't known, we do have a place for known bugs for Pokemon TCG Live now, where we can look and see things. So with that, I'm just talking about this real quick because this is what we're starting to use with some of our judge calls, so we know what's happening. Just bring that up. There's a direct link on the tournament site itself, and we're about 2 minutes away. I could show everyone the meta game right now, but I don't know. We might do that. Oh no, just a sec here. I don't know why that turned off. I usually have what's called a streamer mode on Discord, and it's like, no, I don't wanna. Well, hopefully everyone's having a good night as we get ready here for our challenge, and then we'll actually have we have this tournament of Doom this Friday as well, which should be a good tournament. We've had a lot of great players coming through, which actually we can recap that real quick. Go ahead and go take a quick look at what won that, which was Dragapult Pidgeot, which was also using the Dusknoir engine, which I've actually been playing a very similar kind of deck lately. It's been a lot of fun. I've replaced the Radiant Charizard with Radiant Alakazam. Personally, I think the Radiant Alakazam is better, and Temple of Sinnoh with the Pokemon League headquarters, but Temple of Sinnoh has its place too. I mean, Lugia is still out there. I don't know how much Lugia is going to get played. I don't run into Lugia that all much myself. It's just a lot of a lot of the same decks. You know, you see your ever so great Raging Bolt players. You know, you see them all the time. Which actually the Dusknoirs made it kind of easier to beat. Like doing a quick 50 and then hitting for 200. So good, so good. So this is what won, but we also saw a lot of control decks that week. We saw 2 Snorlax stalls, a Banette Gardevoir, a Cloth Electrode, which actually scooped in top 8. Prince Vortex, the player wasn't able to continue on, so they scooped and allowed them to go on, which they were up against Pidgeot Control. Pidgeot Control, kind of popular here. I don't know how easy of a time it would have against it. It plays plenty of switches, but it doesn't hit everything for weakness in the deck, specifically the Pidgeot EX. But you do see it hit into the Ursaluna. You see it hit into the Luxray. You see it hit into the Rotom. You know, I mean, it hits some really good numbers, and the Mimikyu is not going to stop it. Which it looks like that big yellow button is ready to get going. So let's go ahead. Announce to everyone on the Discord that round 1 is up, and we'll go ahead and start the tournament. And let's go ahead and find ourselves a match. So let's go back to tournaments, Challenge of Doom. We'll look at the metagame as well, but first we gotta find a match. We're looking. Jam, always good. He's playing the Dragapult Dusknoir versus the Palkia Dusknoir. I think that would be a good match to start with. So we'll go ahead, we'll reach out to Jam, see if he is available for the first round. As we see the battle of the battle of the Dusknoirs. That's what it is. And also tonight I'm running solo. If you haven't noticed, wasn't able to schedule anyone this week. It kind of actually honestly slipped my mind, so I forgot it was a challenge week until about, I don't know, yesterday morning. I was like, oh no, I've been more busy with trying to set up the regional stuff. Oh, Jam can't stream today. Oh, shit. Oops, exclamation point, no swearing. Who else do we have? We do have Pawn Arts. Oh, Savid versus Iranova. Was Iranova on? Uranova is still on the Frostlass. Savid's on something. We'll save that one for later because both those players usually stream. Checking other players. JMU Boy versus PKS Blaze. That's Lost Zone versus Dialga Matang. Actually, you know what? I like that. I like that. Let's go ahead and set them up then. I think PKS Sylveon is who it is. What else we got? JMU Boy's got me. Awesome. So we'll have JMU Boy with his Dialga Matang versus PKS Blaze, which I gotta double check what their list was. Go ahead and join up. And if you want to be on stream, if you want to have the opportunity to, just go ahead and share. Put in the thing. Hey, this is what I'm playing. Tonight is not a night about like we're grabbing like always like I would say like the bestest players or anything like that. We're grabbing the interesting decks. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the fun stuff. I'm looking for players who maybe don't get featured that much, you know, or sometimes featured a few, but they're playing something interesting. So I mean, there's so many different decks we can feature. All right, so let's go ahead and get this going as we get the Tournament of Doom. Challenge of Doom. Going. All right. That's going. We got everything going. Everything looks like it's running quite fine. All right. So as this is PKS Blaze, we're going up against JMU Boy. I'm looking up their deck list again right now. It is a very interesting matchup because we have Dialga Matang. The Dialga Matang going up against Lost Zone. A Lost Zone box, which I'm double checking what their list is. I've got both lists opening up. Lost Zone's playing, it's their standard Lost Zone box. There's nothing new to it. And let us see what JMU Boys list looks like as they set up here. JMU Boys list is you're pretty much your Dialga Matang. This is almost like a whoa, wow, that's a hand. That's probably not a good starting hand for Hyperion PKS Blaze here. As JMU Boy has a fairly good start here. They're gonna be able to get multiple Beldums out. They're gonna have the Dialga, but we'll have to see how much Mew can carry here. And on PKS Blaze's side, it's how much are you able to get maybe that turn 2 Radiant Greninja. You could really hurt some Beldums there. Without the Beldum engine, it makes it just a little bit harder for the Dialga to get going. It really wants to hit that V-Star attack, give itself an extra turn, especially if it could take like 2 KOs. Or even better, if it can not just take 2 KOs, if it could take 4 prizes within those 2 turns. Which is possible. It's happened. It'll happen again. It will happen every time. So we do see the energy attachment to the Radiant Greninja as PKS Blaze gets ready for it. And then we see the Super Rod. So the Mew start is probably the best. We're going to see the Greninja. Get some draw power here, maybe. Yes. JMU Boy has at least priced 1 Beldum. They might have actually priced 2. They priced 2. Ooh. That is not good for JMU Boy, especially if that Greninja gets set up, which will make the way they're playing that makes me feel like they are. They play 0 Heavy Ball, but they do play 4 Super Rods. So we could see that come into play. They also do play the Prime Catcher and the Jamming Tower, the Jamming Tower could shut off PKS Blaze's rescue board, but they play 3 Pokestops. We had Nuzkuru We actually had 7 people miss the first round this time. That's weird. And that's one of those things like I'm trying to stop because you have people on the wait list and like you're here, you can still jump in. I still give them a 2-round thing. Sometimes people just miss it. But I'm still trying to be more careful about it because we had some serial people doing that for weeks where they get in. That's what I'm assuming is they're probably mostly waitlisted people. That's why I don't drop people until they've been gone for 2 rounds. Because we've had plenty of people who miss like the first round, and then they jump in round 2, and they play out the rest. It just varies. So we're saying Lost Zone, do the Lost Zone things. It's PKS Blaze, Flower selecting through. I believe they're very, very close if they haven't already gotten to 7. The reason why I'm not positively sure is because I turned away for just been. And Dialga does seem like it's becoming more popular of a deck. The biggest thing here JMU boy is definitely afraid of is that Greninja. That Greninja is able to get an attack off. You see the Night Stretcher going for... I did not see what they picked up. Oh, the Cramorant. Oh, are we going to see a Cram attack? Missing the Mirage Gates. Okay, we're going to see a little damage going into the Dialga. Okay. Get some damage there. I think Dusknoir is going to be thrown into everything from now on, just because it works well with certain decks. Ooh, this is harsh. You can't Ultra Ball that Professor's Research away. You kind of want to use it. Dang, then all into your energies. Okay, we got him at Tang. We got him at Tang. Things are active. Here we go. A reminder, JMU boy. Ooh. Prized 2 Beldums. Oh, and there went the other Matang. They have a couple options here. They can still attack, doing 80 damage. You can put Jamming Tower down, make things a little bit more difficult. And then we'll see the attach to the Zamazenta and pass. Okay, so Thorn's Dusknoir sounds kind of interesting. Like I would assume it's trying to fix some of the issues. Like where you just don't hit certain things well enough, and then on top of that, you can give up a prize, right? You just give up a prize and you're still fine because you're still wanting to take 6 prizes. Right, but give them the gusting sucks. Like anybody would use it. I mean, that's the first thing I would look for, depending on the deck I was playing. So we do see the Lost Vacuum gets rid of the Jamming Tower, so we will only see Pokestops the rest of the game. The Dialga is still in the active, still at 110. It's not kind of getting knocked out just yet. The Zamazenta is on the bench threatening. There's a possibility of Matang getting some damage in there. We could see the Beldum get KO'd with a little bit of damage onto the Matang itself, setting up for a later Sableye knockout. It depends on how PKS Blaze wants to take this game. So there we go. We see the Mirage Gate now. And we did see in their discard that a lot of their big, bulky EX Pokemon were already discarded. We do see the Sableye. So Lost Zone kind of having it here right now, doing what it wants to do. So we saw the damage go on the Dialga and the Metang. All of the gusting effects are currently in hand, as we see 3 bosses and a prime catcher. We do get the attachment here. Zamazenta is not active, but is dealing damage. I personally feel like I'd probably go after the Sableye. The Sableye might be the biggest threat, but so is the Greninja. But the Greninja is going to take more resources to take that KO, so much more than the Sableye will. The Sableye easily set up there for a 3-prize turn. The Greninja can still do it, 100% still do it, but it's just a little bit more in the resource heavy. But being down to 13 cards in deck, that feels like it is still coming closer and closer to that this Lost Zone is just going to have it, which is sometimes what it is. Lost Zone is one of those decks still that rolls downhill and it does well. And it doesn't help. The slowish start coming from the Dialga isn't helping at all. But thankfully, in a sense, the Zamazenta can attack for 100, and there's a lot of Pokemon on that field that can be a hit for less than 100 and do the damage. You still want to get that Star Chronos off, be able to buy yourself another turn, possibly find something that you should be able to hit. But again, we're seeing the Sableye. Sableye is back. They had the pieces. We will see the flower selecting. They're hoping they have that Psychic Energy in hand. There's 7 cards in deck. Now 5. I mean, the odds of them not having that Psychic Energy continue to go further and further down with every turn.
Hello there.
What's up, everyone coming in from Lady Dunsparce's stream? I'm Senior Doom, tournament organizer, professional illustrator, and overall very lumberjack looking guy. We're currently in round 1 of the Challenge of Doom, my bi-weekly Tuesday tournament. That is like the little sister, I guess you could say, of my tournament series, as we're watching PKS Blaze and their Lost Zone box. Yes, Lost Zone box deck go up against, yes, you're going to hear this correctly too, Dialga V-Star. Hopefully your night went well, and if you're not following Lady Dunsparce, please go give them a follow. Oh, we are this poor Dialga right now. It just when it got 1 Metang set up and it's hit like 0 on everything, and on top of it, it prized 2 Beldum. There was 2 Beldum prize, so there was nothing they could do on that part. We were hoping to get Dragapult Dusknoir versus Palkia Dusknoir, but neither player was able to stream. And so I was like, okay, we gotta find someone who can stream, and this was one that can stream. So let's start starting matchup, but we got plenty of other matchups as well. Hopefully see some good games tonight. Tonight is the night where we're looking for the weird decks. This is where we want things where it's like, oh hey, here's the dust, here's this, here's that, kind of thing. As we see the double Beldum come back down, I don't believe we'll see a boss's order. We do. Oh, we're going to see the boss's orders on the Greninja here. As it is. You can stream next round, Daycam? Okay, well, maybe we'll put you... Oh, you haven't been on in a while, Daycam. What are you playing tonight? Oh, you're playing the Palafin. Yeah, we're getting you on tonight, dude. We gotta see the Palafin. Who doesn't love Palafin? It's such a fun deck. I need to share the deck my brother's been playing. Oh, was a deck out possible? There's no way for them to take 4 prizes this next turn, is there? They've got to have like a Roxanne or something. A Rod. As we see the Greninja come back. But there's nothing to draw from. There's the Rod, okay. Okay, we can see the Greninja here. Boston's the Dialga. We're just going to take out both the Beldums as they Palpat some more cards back into the deck to keep them from essentially losing this next turn due to deck out. So PKS Blaze is playing this straight, like how a Greninja player wants to. Never, or not Greninja player, I'm sorry, I lost Zone Box player. Never let those Beldums get set up. Never let them get out there. This is really hard to get that Origin Form Palkia out of there, especially considering I believe we already saw the Prime Catcher, so that's not happening. Boss's orders, you can't boss's orders away. Stuff. I guess you can Pheasant Dippity here. Maybe you have a switch. Iono's not going to win you the game. Let's see what's left in deck. There is no switches left. So this is very much a checkmate situation. You could also force possibly your opponent to, but yeah, it does not feel good. It does not feel good from the JMU boys side. As we see PKS Blades there take the win with Lost Zone Box, which is not a deck you see much of right now. I mean, how often do you see it? Like, ever? I don't even see it on ladder anymore. And the thing is, like, chat, correct me. Is it good? Is it bad? I have no idea. Like, sometimes it feels like it just doesn't have the firepower anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, if we look at the metagame. Look at the metagame tonight. 64 players. Terapagos Dusknoir, number 1. Palkia Dusknoir, number 2. Raging Bolt Ogerpon, number 3. Iron Thorns, number 4. Dragapult Dusknoir, number 5. I believe that was our only Lost Zone box. Yes, that was. Right, it just seems like the Drago just kind of blows it up now, right? Like, at least like Goldango feels like it has a chance. And also, I'm going to let the ad run here in a second because we're done with the match. I usually try not to run ads during matches, so this will be the perfect time to run an ad. I apologize for them, but it's the best way to do it. We have this up. The best way to do it. It does only every 60 minutes, and it does it for 3 minutes. It might be 12 ads, but it's only supposed to be 3 altogether. Which right now, Terapagos Dusknoir is not having a good night. With Asher being the only one to win, and the only one because Jolly Flame Man wasn't missed around. I totally understand, Lady Dunsparce. It's only about 9 o'clock my time, so that's why we get it going. And this tournament actually only runs about 2.5 hours. Which I need to look at Daycamp's list here. As they've got the Palafin, Brute Bonnet with the Petulant. No Sneasel? No Sneasel, man? The Mochi, though. Get some extra damage in there. The Mochi does what, 40? Right, just 40. So that's in 290 now. Which, I mean, oh. So many things go down at 290. JPZ's. Okay, let's look at JPZ's list here in a second. That was being talked about. The Aerodactyl Oh, wait, that's just baby Aerodactyl. Where's Aerodactyl V-Star? Like, what does this do that V-Star doesn't? Is it the Rock Crush? The Bite? Is there an export error? What set is this from? Stellar Crown, so it shouldn't have an export error. One time you get export errors is when the same list. That makes sense. If it's just an Oko Terapagos or Terapagos, then that makes sense. Which the Iron Thorns isn't having such a good night tonight either. Let's go ahead and update the standings as we're just waiting on 4 matches right now. Terapagos not having a good night. Palkia Dusknoir having a pretty good night. Raging Bolt Ogerpon had a good start. Dragapult Dusknoir with a 4-0 start. 1 pound life, yes I did, and I am actually quite excited for it. And I can already tell you my chase card is that new aerial card they did. The art card for that is going to be my chase card. I'm going to try it out. I know it's like multiplayer and everything. I'm excited for it. I actually have a gunpla I'm building on my desk right now. I'm painting some of the weapons because it's an older one. It's the Titans RX 178, just the high grade, and all the weapons came like solid gray. So I'm painting them with, I got some metallic marker paints and stuff. So I'm able to go through and I can paint them, and it looks actually pretty good. But it's not like I'm trying to repaint the whole thing. It's just like I paint certain parts of the guns, so there's some color separation. I need next step for me is to put the decals on, which I got a set of water slides for. Let's go ahead and look at some of these lists. Ooh, the Tatsuguri version. I've been debating about the Tatsuguri. I don't like running 2 Rotom Vs. I do the Tatsuguri. When you attract customers, especially when you get like the board on it, just feels so much better. Because then you're looking at it, it's essentially Stellar Wish. In a sense. And you know, that's good. And this deck could benefit from it. Let's see what some of the other ones. Wreckers list. They are playing the Tatsuguri again. They're playing the Tatsuguri version. Oh yeah, because if it wasn't Dusknoir, it would be showing us Pidgeot. I like the Pidgeot version myself, but I was thinking about putting that in with it, which I don't even think we have any Dragapult Pidgeot. We have one, and it currently is 1-0 as well, beating the Greninja. This is closer to what I'm running, except go 1 Rotom V, maybe 2 Duskulls. And yeah, I've added the Super Rod. I don't play the Roxanne. Run 2 Boss. I think it's a 3-3 split on Nest Ball, Ultra Ball. But if I can find a way to sneak a De-Evolution in there, De-Evolution's been so good. At least in the mirror, and at least against Charizard. Quiet night on the judges' calls. Appreciate that. As I say that, there'll be a judge call. My guess would be a Control Axe. But hey, look, at number 1 right now is a Darkrai deck. Also, Steuben, the reason also why I want the aerial chase is I have a Witch from Mercury display setup right now. Right by my Fuecoco setup. Where I've got all the versions of the Mercury decks. Or not the Mercury decks, all the pilots, all the Soletta piloted Max. So technically, I have the Elfrith on there because technically Soletta, when they were a child, you know, blah blah blah. Plus, it looks cool. It's the prototype aerial. So I've got that, the rebuild, the original, and the Caliburn. So if I can get the aerial alt art and put that with it, oh, hits the spot. Exactly what I want. Checking this out, we got a Glass Trumpet Dusknoir, Darkrai, using the Terapagos. This is like, I'm guessing using the Terapagos. It's almost like like it wants to use both as a possible attacker. Well, also, okay, to be honest, Dark Pulse becomes so much easier to load up onto the Terapagos. Like, you can Glass Trumpet all of it with the 14 energy. You can hit pretty hard with the Darkrai. So, looking at it, taking a quick look, that's what it is. The Caliburn for me. I mean, the Caliburn. Yeah, the Caliburn and Caliburn. I always screw it up, but that one's mine. That was the second Gunpla I ever did, and the first one I fully kitted out with decals and everything. And I just love it's clean white. The broom gun's so amazing. So we are waiting on 2 matches. Let's see what those 2 matches are. Shira versus... Oh yeah, there's a stall deck. Edwin Bach. There's a stall deck. So 2 control decks. They're doing their thing. Actually, do I have a photo of it still? I could show it on here. There is not an MG Caliburn yet. There is no MG Witch from Mercury kits yet. There is a full mechanics aerial, which I want to build. It's on my list, but there's no MG Witch from Mercury's. Isaiah 45-7, thank you for the follow, or 45VII. Hopefully your night's going well. So we're talking a little Gundam right now as we're waiting for these last control matches to finish up. I mean, but it's like control. It's just what time it takes. See, like, I think master grades are fine. I like the real grades. Like I did the real grade RG, the real grade RX 178, and I want to get the real grade Grandpa 2.0. That's the ones I'm waiting for. Which I know the real grade 2.0 just came, new type just got it up. Dude, buy any sort of like robot models are so much fun to build. Any robot model is fun to build. Like the RX 178 just became my favorite because it's like a bulkier version of the original Gundam. I just like it so much. And there it is. Open match. There's that judge call. We knew it was coming. I had to look up Berserk Fuhrer. Which one's that? I think it's this weekend, if I remember right. They have the Gundam USA tour coming in. and I'm like super excited for that. I got to just double check, but they have a clear aerial they're selling. I know some of them are really complicated to get a hold of, just any kits. What's really cool, and I'm going to do like 130 each. That's not too bad for some models. What's their scale? The Xenogears. I think we might be ready to get moving on, anyways. Let me see if New Type or USA Gundam Store have them. All right, looks like we're all set. End round. Next round's up. Let's go ahead and find our next game, which is actually Day Camp. We're gonna have Day Camp here with this Palafin. Let's go ahead and get round 2 going. Three by 6x8. Okay. Well, like they scale them like 1/44th scale. All right, let me make sure Day Camp knows. We actually had a few people drop out. Dude. Also, boy, I have no idea how to say your name, but thank you for the follow. All right, looks like Day Camp's got their screen up. We'll go ahead and get this matchup going here in just a moment. As soon as they get going, we'll have our 2 players here, which we'll double check the matchup. It is Day Camp versus Anakarok. Day Camp is running the Palafin deck, which has a Pecha Runt Donk as part of the deck. And Anakarok is running just your straight Dragapult. This is the Dragapult Natu Zatu build. That is not a build you see a lot of right now. As Day Camp has named the deck Dolphin Donk. All right, we see the coin flip here as we see the tails. So Day Camp is going first. As I said, this is Dolphin Donk. They want to go first. They want the ability to poison out and hopefully get the Donk. Especially against a Dragapult. Dragapult might start the GP or even worse, start something like the Zatu, which Zatu's look even worse off. We could just see him lose before they even play a turn. So let's see how this first turn goes, as they do give up a mulligan, taking 1. Do you see the Rotom start? Not much else there, but you know the Dragapult's at least taking a turn here to attack. Maybe you'll be able to get a Palafin here, or something else. The Zatu build has a tendency to just build up slowly. Oh, we got the Palafin, but not the baby. No Fenizen. Pretty powerful secondary start here. We could still see a Dreepy get taken down. That's everything a possibility. As they do get the Buddy Puff and go start, we will see. I would assume probably a Xatu and at least one Dreepy, if not two Dreepies. We do see the not two. I'm sorry, not two, not Xatu. Xatu is what it evolves into. Probably the Rotom here. Yep, as we see the Rotom, as they'll be going in with that instant charge. After they put down the Forest Sealstone. If you know your opponent doesn't play Lost Vacuum, or you just do it now and hope they don't have Iono on whatever you're playing to do. We could be seeing another Buddy Poffin here. Nope, we're going to see the Arven. So I'm assuming they grabbed with the Forest Sealstone the Arven, grabbing the Earthen Vessel and the Technical Machine. So we're going to actually see them go ahead, get the Xatu out, get the Dracloak. As we see the Manaphy go to the discard, there's nothing happening with that. Fire Energy Attachment, Dreepy doing the evolution, which is also a really good song by Pearl Jam. Always worth a listen. Also, the music video kicks ass! Exclamation point, no swearing. All right, let's see what their answer back is. Counter Catcher. Know exactly what you may be looking for here. Do have access to Secret Box. Do have access to the Forest Sealstone. Do need to watch out though for the Dragapult's attack. Dragapult could possibly do a board wipe. Which I played against a Miraidon a few days ago, and I board wiped him so bad. If I was to choose three here, I hate getting rid of Gus, but the Super Rod, the Night Stretcher, the Mochi, the other Arven, they're all good cards. Actually, you know what? That is a smart move there. Toss the Palafin, because you're going to set yourself up in other ways. Also grab the Irida. There you go, okay. That's a good setup there. Again, like you could possibly donk this, or not donk, get rid of this Dreepy. Brute Bonnet out. Finizen looks like they're just chunky enough to be able to get away from not getting KO'd. As we'll see the... Ooh, we're going to see the Pecharunt. Okay. I wouldn't mind seeing a Finizen get down, but... we still have Star Alchemy, so we can still put a Finizen down. But we're going to see the Radiant Sneasler. Like, part of me... Okay, maybe I'm over-focusing on the Finizen. It just feels like this deck wants to hit some of those numbers. As we see the Toxic Powder switch into the Pecharunt or Pekkarunt. I've heard it said like both ways. Night Stretcher. Get the Palafin back, but there's no Finizen. And there's two of them. Ooh, 50 HP apiece? Okay, maybe that's why we're seeing them not go for the Finizen just yet. Because those Finizens are so easily done in. But hey, getting a KO there, getting one of the Dreepies out, best way to do it. Force them to have it out. They might not have a Dragapult in hand. We see the Ultra Ball here, so they definitely have that. I don't know if they have the skateboard they want for the Xatu. Did you see a boss's orders and a Dreepy go to, well, go away? I mean, they could still come up and attack for 70 if they don't have the fire energy in hand. I believe they do because they used the Earthen Vessel earlier. As we see, the Super Rod brings stuff back. And we just see the switch, so they did have it out. So we're going to see the Petrolite go away, and we're possibly going to see more as we do see the Iono, and we lose 2 Finizens. Ooh. There goes Petrolite. We see 60 go on to the Brute Bonnet. As we see the Radiant Hisuian Sneasler take the active. I would probably Energy Search, even though it sucks to lose that card. Or Artisan, actually, yeah. You've got to get 2 Finizens down now. And then hope, on top of that, they don't have a boss's orders. If you get 3, it doesn't matter as much. Getting some damage out there onto the Dragapult definitely help. I don't know fully if that's what you want to do. You know what? Believe in day camp. That's all I can say. Believe in day camp right now. So we've seen the Petrol run again. Trying to get that poison going. We'll see the Toxic Powder. I don't think that Fenison is long for this, but doing, what is this, about 8 damage per turn? Oh, Valiant Evolution. Okay. So a little bit more protection. Puts the Petrol up there. Okay. Okay. That's good. Now you're just banking on them not having the gusting effect. I am learning this deck as it plays. I have never played this form of Palafin. I'm used to Palafin where I'm using the Hisuian, the Hisuian Sneasler, where you bring up, or is it the Weavile? It's the Weavile, I'm sorry, not the Sneasler. The Weavile, where you bring up something from a basic from the bench. That's the one I played the most of. Okay, so we're seeing the Xatu get some energy, more energy out there. See the Dracloak. Recon Directive. Now, as a Dragapult, what do you want to focus on? I also have to read exactly how From Zero to Hero works. I believe I have to go to the bench. If I'm correct. Correct. Okay. See the skateboard on Tatsuguri. Phantom Dive. Okay, we might see something here. We do need to see that Palafin. Okay, they're going after the Brute Bonnet, which is a smart move here. This Dragapult's not long for this world as it is, and with them taking in our prize, we will probably definitely 100% see the Iono here. They got to find a way of getting that Palafin onto the bench, which you could do with the energy search. Get another one, Iono, and then you're trying to find another switch. Squawkabilly isn't doing much for you here. That's just one way I see it. A little bit of lag from the game, not so much the stream. I mean, it happens. There's no No, don't Iono first. Get the Palafin out. Gotta get the Palafin out, because if you get all your Palafins in your hand now, there's nothing you can do. Okay. There we go. That's a good one. That's a good one. Would you like to use 0 to hero? Yes, I would. Time for a little Giga Impact here. We're going to see a huge KO. I know Fenzin's got a possibility of getting blown up, but it could be worse. As we'll 100% see a KO here. There's no reason to poison. You're already hitting more than enough for KO. Go ahead and take the Giga Impact. Get 2 prizes. The Arvins, you got ability to switch out, get another Giga Impact off. You can easily hit 290. And with the poison, you're hitting a little south of 320. No, you're hitting 320. I'm sorry, because it's 290. I was adding my math at 280. So you'll be able to actually get another two price turn. The opponent will either have to focus up on the Brute Bonnet, or they'll have to focus up on taking that other Fenizen out. If they can even get a Dragapult. Isn't one isn't one of your big win conditions like if you can hit your hammers as well? Fezendipity. I don't remember what deck we were which version of Control we were watching, but they played like 3 E-hammers. Like I've seen some Control decks are just completely that were playing Crushing Hammer. I've just completely given up and gone to the E-hammer. See, like the fan seems pretty good in some of them. Like there's just plenty of decks with the fan that just become like, doesn't the fan just make like ooh, the reset stamp's gonna hurt. Like I playing Dragapult a lot. Like I'm afraid of the Devo, so I've been playing more Dracloaks. Like, I think I'm up to 3 Dracloaks, and I usually try not to rare candy the Dragapults, or if I do, it's just one. What's up, you miser? Hey, Heat Miser, does that one deck you play, doesn't that beat Iron Thorns because you have 3 Mimikyus? So, like, part of me thinks, like, Fort Boss is being a little bit underrated lately. All right, what's your out here? They're acting like they're gonna have a really large turn here. Might as well Toxic Powder. That extra damage out. We do see the 2 retreat into the Palafin. And then instant charge, so we are not going to see Dragapult win this next turn, but it could possibly. As this instant charge was about as good as taking a brick to the head, I guess. Did you assume attached to the Pheasantipity recon directive? They've got to be looking for that boss's orders. Miser, I want you to bring that to the tournament this Friday. Play it in the Tournament of Doom. If you win, you know what? I will buy you a 12-pack of muffins from Costco. Whatever ones you want. The pumpkin ones, the double chocolate chunk ones, the blueberry, I don't care. I definitely do. I'm on the bus of like Klefki is underrated right now. I think Klefki goes really hard into a lot of decks. As we see the 3-prize turn. Now Palafin's got to be... I don't know what Palafin's win condition is now. Wait, so you can steal them? Yes. We know they're out of energy. We know they don't have any way of drawing. We're Costco guys. We know they used up the Night Stretcher earlier. Energy Search isn't going to do us any good. This feels like game chat. I thought everything got shuffled back in. Can't take 2 cards with Arvin. I gotta check that out. That doesn't sound right at all because everything gets shuffled in and it's like the Palafin's a whole new card out there. I guess, okay, I'm reading the ruling for it. It says, it specifically says the Palafin. Yeah. Well, that's good to know. That's very good to know. Oh, he pressed end turn. He meant to press the Rotom. Oh. Well, we'll see if they have the switch or the energy. That's all they need. 11 cards in hand. Possibility to draw more. Turo scenario. But do they have enough to get the win? Alakazam. Alakazam's going to move 20. That will be game. As Daycap has clicked I give up, which is a concession, so that means we are done. We will sadly watch Palafin lose to Dragapult, but Dragapult's on a tear. As we're waiting for 2 more matches to finish, let's go ahead and update our standings, see where everything's at. We do have a Raging Bolt at number 1. We have Anti at number 2 with Regidrago. AGBTX coming in at number 3 with the Drago Pidgeot. Asher with the Terapagos Dusknoir. Digital Logic coming in with the Regidrago as well. Yeah, that unfair stamp hurt. So we have kind of some decks going on. We do have the 2-0 Darkrai. That's something to watch out for. Cloth is making kind of a start here. Nico E coming in with the Arceus Dusknoir at 2-0. Let's look this out. I think we've seen this before where it plays the Dusknoir, plays a heavy line of Dusknoir, playing the Shaman. Blemmer, Ursaluna, the Crispin. Hopefully you'll be able to get a little bit more energy out on your Arceus a little bit quicker. The Pidgeot, so you always have computer searches. Yeah, this is a very interesting one. Shaman 100% has to be for Zard. Just one moment here, chat. Wow, okay, we had one of the matches completed, and once it completed, there was a deck list error. And you want to know why there was a deck list error? Because they finished the match using they wrote down the regular Blood Moon Ursaluna, not the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX. Which sucks because they won, right? But it means it's a game loss now. That's just how we roll it. Which sucks, and I understand it. But I mean, that's just the way it is sometimes. All right, new pairings are up. Let's see. We have Gwingster with the Raging Bolt versus Lugia. We could possibly run that one. Kelly Moore with the Palkia Dusknoir versus Raging Bolt. Yeah, that is because like looking at it, like they said, oh, they played a Blood Moon Ursaluna. I'm like, okay, we'll go look at it, and then it's like, oh, that's not the one. Let's get the Gwingster on. I don't remember the last time I had a Raging Bolt on. Hornsmere, and like, and it's just a tourney. You just have to play with it for the rest of the tourney. I'm sorry, there is no way for us to change deck lists after the tournament starts, even for like something like that, because I've asked for that, not just because of like things like this happening, where there is export errors, but the export errors are from the same set. So Blood Moon or Ursaluna are not from the same set, if I remember correctly. Correct, they're not. So otherwise, I would have no issue saying this is a export error. It's not. It's just a deck list error. And again, I apologize, but that is a deck list error, especially that far into the game, is a game loss. If you caught it on like turn 1, we would do a reset. Like you at least have a chance. And be like to correct the mistake, but at that point, I'm sorry. Yeah, and again, I it sucks, and I would hate being on I hate when things like that happens to players. But it's, like you said, it's rules are rules. So there's not much we can do. Yeah, no problem. I enjoy putting these on. I wish I didn't have like work on Wednesdays. Otherwise, I put the Tuesday ones on twice a week, and then I would probably increase the number. So if there was ever a world where I didn't have a job, I'd probably put these on twice a week. Either you put the Greninja or you put the Ogerpon here. Oof. I think you got yeet. Why are the Tuesday ones a low player cap? A big reason for that is one, it's just it gives me time. It limits the time. of how many rounds get played. So if you do 6 rounds at 64 players, that's a guaranteed that you're going to have a 6-0. Whereas if you play, if we did 128, that's at least another round, and that can easily be like another few hours. Because you go to 7 and then things just get a little bit more. And it's just right there, right where I want to be. Whereas on Friday, I can sleep in Saturday with like no issue. And I'm gonna lose the squawk ability. That's gonna hurt. This roaring whatever arm. This Zach one that KO so bad. Pokeball. Cause like, and to be honest, like I used to run streams until like 2 in the morning on weekdays, and then I wake up 4 hours later and go to work, and it just what I didn't flat out say it wasn't worth it. Ooh, that's brutal. This is gonna hurt here too. They'll get the revenge KO. That's happening. There's no way they miss the revenge KO now. They've got the Setas. They've got everything. They could possibly take a hit here. Ooh, the Briar, spicy. All right, what are we going after? We're going to go after the mini. Nope, no, I got tails here. Okay, we'll see the Bellowing Thunder here from the Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt, having to give up about 4 energy if I'm correct. Yep, we'll see the 4 energy. Boom, the 280. Goodbye, Lugia. But Lugia does gain 1 more card, as I'll probably be looking for that Minccino. Might need to see the Slitherwing take a KO on the baby Cinccino. That would put him. Oh, that's a little bit awkward. Because they could possibly use the Briar with the Teal Mask Ogerpon. But as we do see the Ultra Ball come down, and also that Blood Moon Ursaluna on the bench is sitting there threateningly, waiting for you to just bring up like a Raging Bolt and just massacre it. So it definitely feels in every sense that them missing that turn 1 KO on that Lugia, especially after that flip, is hurting them much more than anything else. You take that Lugia out, this game is 100% going for him. As we see the Iona 4, we've seen our Raging Bolt, the Switch Cart, and the Teal Mask Ogerpon. We can see a couple energy retrievals here. But again, one of your biggest issues is going to be that Blood Moon Ursaluna on the bench. Obviously, more of the Teal Mask Ogerpons come down. Option here to Teal Dance, get the attachment. Sealed cards, see how much more we get here. We got the boss's orders, the Switch card, Penny. Not looking good here for our Raging Bolt player. As you see the Ogerpon come back into the hand. Smooth move here. Now you got the ability to draw a few more cards. But now you've lost access to any sort of Professor Sadas. And you lost access to boss's orders. So drawing a few more cards does not seem like it's paying off here. Boss's orders, and we will see that as game already as Lugia just runs over the Raging Bolt. I'm going to go see if anybody else who's streaming is sharing their game. Does look like we have PKS Blaze sharing their game here. Let me go ahead and pop that open, see how that's going. So that's Dragapult versus Lost Box, which we were talking about earlier. We just saw, oh god, this game almost looks like it's over. Maybe. I can't even get the screen to update. We'll see if they'll be able to get something out of this. This could be a very fast end of the game here. They do have the Blood Moon Ursaluna. They do have energy for it. The biggest issue they are running into is that Comfy needs like a Switch cart. We can also see anything with the dust that is not a Switch cart. Ursula will take a KO here, but if their opponent has access to the fire energy, whether they play the reset stamp, we will see them be in a very, very good place just to finish this game off. As we see the Dragapult come up front, we can also we can see plenty of moves here. There's the fire energy, so this game is over as well. As they had it 3 ways this Sunday. Oh wait, no, actually, you know what? I was wrong. Was I? No, I was wrong. Okay, they don't have it. My bad, chat. Unless that's the Dust War, like I was thinking. Oh wait, no, they have it. They're putting the Dust War out there. They did have a 3-way to Sunday. Dusknoir comes down, weakens up that Ursaluna, and then we see that. So there's the concession. As we're talking earlier, we did see it. Wow, Nuzcrew, that is the definition of a very, very unlucky game. Like, okay. I will say I on average feel like I prize 2 Dreepies every time without fail. So go ahead and update our standings here as we've done as much as we can. All right, nothing on the judge side, nothing on this. All right. 3-0s. We got Kloft leading the charge, here. We got Lugia, as we just saw, take on the Raging Bolt. Dragapult with Anakarok. Rock going 3-0. Callie Moore, Pocket Dusknoir at the 2-1. Gwinster 1410. Still with the Raging Bolt at 2-1. Anti coming in with the Raging Drago at 2-1. Digital Logic with the Drago at 2-1. More Terapagos Dusknoir 2-0 currently as they're still playing. Lex Innie 12-11. Palkia Dusknoir. A bunch of Dragapults. Either with the Dusknoirs or the Pidgeot, which I believe the Pidgeot is also playing the Dusknoir engine in theirs. They are playing the 1-1-1 line. So a whole bunch of those. Raging Bolt. Pidgeot Control currently 2-0 as they wait out their matches, as we're just waiting for a few more here to finish out. We do have Shiro with their Charizard, which you haven't seen. Charizard. Shiro's Charizard list. It's been interesting. They are not playing the Dusknoir with the Delphox. Seeing how it goes. Reset. Why do I want to reset, Demon Slayer? We're going to go over and we're going to steal a little bit from Moonkitty Shira. See how their game's going. If you're not following them, please go give them a follow anyways. Are they playing against Day Camp? Oh, they are. As you see the counter catcher, it looks like Moonkitty Shira will win on this turn here with the Radiant Charizard. Poor Pheasant Deputy. They try to make a support Pokemon with 210. Man, okay, maybe most things can't KO that. No. It's still very KOable. As we are currently waiting on 6 matches now. Maybe less. And we just came in at the last second. So I mean, the fact that you're at 1 prize, they're at 2, it seemed like you were doing pretty good. Oh, that's something to always watch out for. You never know when the V-Star power is going to come out and hurt you. Which also, we need to take a second. 100%. Take a second. I got sponsors I got to pitch. So first, we have Tabletop Village. If you use code DOOM5, that's DOOM, numerical 5 at tabletopvillage.com, you save 5% off any of your orders. Matoba Design, one of the best photography groups you will find out there, who also sell Pokemon cards, which I believe if you use sponsors, exclamation point sponsor, you will get it. It'll show up. And then finally, we have doom-gaming.com, which has a new playmat up for sale. As we can see here, the Terrapagos playmat, very well illustrated by myself. That's why I'm promoting the hell out of it. If you haven't seen it or had a chance to buy it, please do. Doom-gaming.com. You see plenty of stuff here. It took me 300 hours to draw that. No, I actually didn't. I don't remember the sponsor or something else. Daycamp. It's one of those. But yeah, Daycamp, if you want to jump on, just meet me in the caster hangout. You should have permission there, and you can come hang out with me for the last 3 rounds. As we wait for 5 more stuff. Which also, that playmat will be the Champions playmat for the Tournament of Doom Regional, which is coming up very quickly. How far from it are we? November 9th. 2 days, starts at 8 a.m. Pacific time on November 9th. No Tournament of Doom the night before, because I am not going to run a tournament until 3 in the morning, and then wake up not even 5 hours later and run another. Which, let's go ahead while we're at it. Let's go ahead and update the Tournament of Doom Championship Series and see where people are standing on that. I believe I updated it last week. I'm still going to go back and re-update it. Update ranking. I believe Cash is still number 1. Yeah, Cash is currently number 1. Callie Moore is number 2. Ryan Now is number 3. Pawn Art TCG is number 4. Jam is number 5. Booga Lover is number 6. Supercell Cambo number 7. And Era Nova rounds out at top 8. But top 16 all get automatic day 2 invites to the Doom Worlds next August. But you don't know what the Doom Worlds is? It's Worlds format 2 weeks ahead of time. So anybody who can play in it will play a best of 3 over 2 days, following a similar format to Worlds, where if I was able to give a first round bye, I would do that for the top 16. I would actually probably put up to the top 32. But we cannot, so we give them the automatic day 2 invite, which treats it like the old Worlds format where it is 100%. 100% new tournament day 2. So looking at some of the decks we have up there, we do have Shira, Callie Moore, Philip Hore, Jam coming in with the Palkia Death Star, Kenneth Kinsman coming in with the Iron Thorns, Philip Hore coming in with the Greninja. I'm gonna see a little bit of Greninjas out there. It's an interesting deck. It takes some good things. It does lose the Psychic fairly easily. You wouldn't think of water. Normally a water type Pokemon would lose the Psychic, but it does. That was one of my favorite things about playing like Gardevoir against it. Because Greninja, they get set up and I'll be like, Gardevoir! But it does play the Technical Machine D evolution, which helps against so many decks. Also, the heavy water energy of 7. I personally assumed they would have had a lot less. Hello, Daycamp.
Hello.
How you doing there?
Not too bad. Trying to make sure my microphone is working.
Sounds like it's working from this end.
Cool.
No buzzing like we previously had.
Nice. There it goes. Yeah. All right. The light is on and everything, so we should be good.
Sure, I can. Okay, you're all set there. Just looking at some of the decks like we usually are. Check this out. Galvantula. Currently 3-0.
I'm gonna pull up the list here. I really thought that this was gonna be a problem of a deck. Item lock, just constantly good. But this really hasn't gained any traction. Especially with the Joltik.
Right, because the Joltik being 30 HP You put 2 of them down, Dragon Pulse is going to wipe you out.
Yeah.
This one is playing the grass energy one.
Which I think you have to.
Yeah, it's definitely waiting for Magneton. Magneton's going to make things interesting, especially considering with the Pikachu VX coming out. Let's look at Justin Basil real quick, which I'm sharing my screen with you, Daycamp, so you could be able to see whatever I'm looking at.
Perfect.
Visual set list, so we can find it much quicker. Yeah, because we got the Magneton, we got the new Pikachu EX, which does 300, which is so insane. Ooh, we got the new Lake Trio. Almost thought that was one single image for a second.
Yeah, I might be a hot take, but I never really liked any of the Lake Trio. Thought they were always kind of ugly.
Personally, I'm the same way.
I am very excited about Slacking.
I remember it was Slacking V where like it got really popular, Path to the Peak.
Yes, I definitely played some Slacking Path decks.
Yeah, no, I realized I passed the Magneton because I didn't have this one open. And this is the one I wanted to open. So I can look at the translations with the card, because not all of them have the translations. Like, here's the Magneton. Once during turn, you attach up to 3 basic energy cards from your discard pile to your lightning Pokemon in any way you like. Use this ability, this Pokemon is knocked out. Again, we're getting a lot of knocked out Pokemon. But hey,
yeah,
for 300?
I mean, yeah, and as we've seen with the Dusknoir line, knocking yourself out really isn't that terrible of a thing when the reward is so high.
And plus, it can just cause fits for stuff like control. Like, hey, wait, why was my Iono and give me 3 cards now? Yeah, I don't remember if Zach Brown Games is a sponsor or which one it is. That's fine. It tagged Creep, of all things. Check my stream elements real quick. I don't remember if it's sponsor or something else. I used to know all my commands by heart. Used to.
One thing I do think about with Pikachu's ability, that with Duskull and all of that being so prevalent, that it really doesn't seem like that hard of an ability to get around. Dragapult spreading damage as well. So I think being able to just KO everything really good. But, you know, it seems like it might just be a turbo deck. Just like some of the things like Roaring Moon.
Raging Bolt.
Yep.
Let's see. I should really make a sponsor one. I don't have it, so we're going to need to make it real quick. Sponsors. TabletopVillage.com.
Have you seen the theories now going around with some of the new cards that have been announced for this set that are gusting effects? And we don't have a boss's orders in the H block, I think is what we're in right now.
Yeah, it seems like we're moving really fast to that, but it seemed like that before, and then it just we got something in the end. Even though I don't know if you played during the custom catcher days.
I did not.
Oh, gusting was so hard to get, but when you had it though, oh, it hit.
My guess is that they might not print another boss's orders until the next main set games come out. which would probably happen in 2026, it's looking like. So we might have a short window of no boss's orders, but I think that that would be, when we would get the next one.
Yeah, and like we have so many people, so many other bosses we haven't even seen yet. Like between Guzma, technically, I'm trying to think from this one. Who was the? I mean, I guess the Chairman Rose could be one.
Yeah.
He's technically a villain.
Yep. And I mean, we're gonna get some sort of villain, I assume, with the new Legends game. There's gonna be the Team Rocket set coming out,
which would be a perfect place to reprint Giovanni Boss's orders, if not a alt art for it. And that would be an easy place to put it into an H.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because that if they don't do a boss's orders and they want a Giovanni card, we do have Giovanni's charisma right now, so that could be, I wouldn't be surprised if they do something with bosses again, just because Giovanni currently has a standalone card.
Correct.
I don't think we're getting either of those Nezcrew. Oh, I gotta look up what Swoop Teleporter does again.
Just 1 second here, I gotta move us. Okay, cool. I just had to confirm a match. Someone won on a deck out, and their opponent seemed like they just sat there and waited for time to run out. So with that, we can confirm, and we'll usually do that is we'll reset the match and give the person who didn't deck out the win.
Makes sense. And Swoop Teleporter was from the deck, and then you switched. So search your deck for basic Pokemon excluding EX, switch it with one of your basic Pokemon excluding EX in play. Place the first one in the discard pile. So not really Gust, just kind of a switch things around.
Okay, again, I'm going to talk about this real quick. Though it came up, the person showed the game. Their opponent had 0 cards in deck, and their timer was down to about 7 minutes. So I made a judgment call saying, okay, I'm going to reset the game, give the player that they did that. I don't care like anything else. It's just what it was. So it's a judgment call. I'm going to call it a judgment call 100%, but that's what the call I'm making, because it's not like, oh, judge, I had game, and like you'd have to wait 50 turns for a game to happen. It was happening right then, right? Like,
yep.
Again, I always bring up stuff like this because it's what it is. I want to see if we can get Callie on, unless they dropped. Yep, Kelly Moore. There we go. Kelly Moore is playing Palkia Dusknoir, and they are up against Stall. It could be kind of a boring matchup, but I would like to see it and see how they do, because Callie is really, really good. There they are. Okay, we gotta look at what Jam's up against. Jam is up against... Oh, he's up against the Iron Thorns. earlier. We were talking about the Terapagos and the Aerodactyl. Okay.
Yeah, this seems like maybe it's kind of the next. I mean, it has 4 thorns in it, but otherwise it seems kind of like it's the next version of the Noivern Ogerpon style.
What was that deck called? They called it
think
like
was
bricks
just-
and stones or something like that.
I think so, yeah. Something kind of funky.
All right, we got the game going. It looks like. Make sure everything's updated. Looks like we are. Round 4. Chia versus Kelly Moore. What we've seen from the Kelly Moore side, Chia is playing the stall deck. Kelly Moore is playing Dusknoir Palkia. So we can definitely see Dusknoir come in and take some KOs here. Make things a little bit easier. Bricks and Bats. Thank you, Callie.
Vern, also a solid name.
I wish we'd get back to the era of everybody doing really cool deck names, but I think that era died with the pandemic.
I was listening to, oh gosh, I forget the name of the podcast, but it's the one that like Omnipoke and Alex Dow are in.
Oh,
And they were talking about a gouging fire deck that was at Dortmund. That was kind of like a firebox, and one of them was like, I think they could have named it, gouging hotbox, but probably not the best stream name.
you see, like I like this. They said called Terrapagos Dusknoir Ghost in the Shell. That's a good name. I like that.
Yep.
Spill the tea. So many good ones. Okay, looking at this setup right now, like having the Froakie's good. Oh yeah, no, Sandy Beach, 100%. But some of them are pure gold. Like you still need the Dusknoir out there. Palkia into Palkia. Like not everything is like the best off your first try. All right, I'll bring this up. My that Terrapagos mat I made, there's 10 versions of it before I came up to that final. I mean, Daycamp, you work with birds. Don't birds take like 10 tries to fly?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Don't birds take like 10 tries to fly?
Oh, at least they have to build up the breast muscles and everything, so they definitely don't fly well.
Which, how was your Grand Canyon trip?
It was pretty sweet. Just helped. So the company nonprofit I work for monitors the migration of birds of prey, and so just went to the Grand Canyon to hang out with them and make sure that crew was doing okay. So it's just sitting at the Grand Canyon enjoying the views, watching birds. Pretty great.
See, that's the job, man. You go to nice places, just sit and watch some birds or something.
Yeah. The one downside is like Yaki Point is the name of the spot where they sit, and there's just no shade. So, I mean, you can get like umbrellas or something like I know people have there in the past, but it can get pretty warm, at least early season.
All right, so checking this out, we do see the fan on the Rotom, probably hoping to keep the Froakie, the Greninja, from taking KO on it. This early hand isn't too good. We're gonna see the hero's cape on the Mimikyu? We are. Try to prevent that Duskull from doing stuff.
Let's see. Let me pull up their list.
There's Ursaluna. So the question now becomes, how do you want to handle this? Do you rare Pokestop here and hope you get the rare candy, or do you... Okay, we're going to see the Iono first. Iono doesn't hurt as bad.
We do have the vacuum for the hero's cape.
So now
that is a way around this.
we could see... You can still attack with the Greninja.
I do think that you go into the Greninja here and use the attack, because then it gets you one card of your choice.
Or you prized it.
Oh,
Oh, that hurts. I think you have to I think now you have to fix it up, and you're gonna pivot possibly to check if you have the lost vacuum now. Okay, the vacuum's there. That is painful.
yeah. So I think you got to go into Palkia.
You get the Palkia or Greninja to start, but Palkia you need another turn. Gotta make a choice.
Yeah, I wonder if we Greninja and draw cards could be good.
Well, you can still
But
do.
we can,
You can still try bouncing.
we can
here.
try bouncing. We can try bouncing.
What's up, Lunchalo?
Man, this really went from looking great to pretty painful very quickly.
Well, like anything that happens with that. Like you prize one card and it can be just it. But now you put 30 damage onto that Mimikyu. Dusclops, possibly get a prize. Company Flute, nothing there.
Oh. And what was the next card that would have been top decked is the vacuum. So we could have KO'd the Mimikyu next turn.
Oh, just see the Night Stretcher. There is the Cornerstone. Cornerstone is immune to the origin form Palkia due to its ability, but if they can find the Greninja, probably different. Now, as the control player, you're probably sitting there going, well, okay, they didn't set up the Greninja, so they must have prized it. Which is exactly what you want anyways, because then they're not grabbing the cards they want. Handheld fan, kind of dangerous. Pokemon League headquarters, increasing number of outs.
Which, luckily, our little Froakie here can still attempt to bounce with 2 energy.
Ooh, do top deck the Greninja. So we have draw now.
Yeah, I think you have to.
We're gonna see the try bouncing. Hey, two heads. I'm wondering why you're not putting the Greninja and doing that. There's got to be a reasoning behind it. Maybe they don't want it stuck in the active. It can only essentially attack me 1 or 2 times, and it doesn't do enough damage.
Yeah, it's definitely something that could get stuck. We have 1 switch, 1 prime catcher. So not a lot of ways to move that Greninja out.
It's Fortune Sisters. What did we lose? Rare Candy and a Ultra Ball. I played against a control deck today that missed Fortune Sisters 3 rare candies, and then the next turn they got the 4th. It was the most painful time of my life.
Yeah, so I think we bring out the last goal. Makes sense.
Then we'll see another
And we're just gonna
bounce. Nope.
no longer bouncing on the Mimikyu.
I love some of the attack names I get for basics. Like, I'm excited for that new new Fuecoco, but that's because like I'm hoping at some point a Fuecoco actually becomes usable.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many Skeledirges now that all have like something solid, but not compared to everything else. You know, like there's the base set that just does a ton of damage. There's the Terra Steel that does increases damage, and now the non-EX that has just Palkia V-Stars attack, which, you know, very strong, but I don't think it's enough.
Like right now, this feels like it's might be a little bit out of hand just for Cali here, only because they prized the Greninja. They had everything set up for Greninja play, and it just wasn't there. The most painful thing you can have happen. I'm surprised we're not seeing more decks play Jamming Tower. Like, I've been playing against a lot of Reggie Dragos playing Jamming Tower. Feels like it's a good card. Feels like it does well for what it needs to do.
Yeah, I think both Jamming Tower and the league headquarters are very strong stadiums right now. You know, Jamming Tower shuts down just so many things, including the Dragapult Sparkling Crystal.
All right, let's we do get the Pokestop here. Ooh. Not what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Mew, goodbye. Ooh, Night Stretcher. Okay, there could be a play here. You could wipe Mimikyus from the board.
Yeah, we could pop, potentially. But we're still 10 short on our caped Mimikyu.
Well, then you pop the Dusclops. You Night Stretcher the big Palkia. You use that to get the Radiant Greninja to attack. But by doing so, though, you're opening up counter catcher plays.
Yep.
And right now they seem quite content using the Froakie.
Yeah, I'm kind of expecting to see a penny on this Mimikyu.
Or the Mantine.
What a twist.
Probably going to bring out the Ursaluna or something similar. Ooh, hoping to hit the Flute too. Okay, so knowing of this open playlist, that was something that was a possibility. It's where it's like, okay, which one comes out? You can clear. See, now that's the issue. Now he's like, you can clear space, but
now I wonder if we go with the Greninja play.
we'll see the concealed cards. The prime catcher. Okay, so you got tutor switches.
Because I think we need to draw a prize card and hope to hit our Greninja on this turn. So I think even though we open up counter catcher, we hope we don't get Eeried and go for the double KO on Mimi.
Yeah, Eerie is one of those cards that you just go and go, oh man, come on.
So I don't love that. Because Greninja doesn't take out.
Unless we're going to see a double Duskull here.
Yeah.
But you're still short. You know what? They maybe try and hope to get the Greninja here. And by doing the Greninja, you also keep them from getting into Counter Catcher. Oh, it's an Eerie.
But that gets us to Palkia.
There's 2 Palkia in the discard. So you need either another Night Stretcher. You absolutely cannot use your switches though right now unless you get Eeried. Then you're in a horrible spot. The other problem is they're just running out of deck. Heavy Ball. 2 Dusknoirs were in there too. I didn't even catch that.
I was actually thinking of that on our last look through the deck. That is...
And... Dusknoir. Oof. I mean, Dusknoir could do, but... not doing enough damage either with the Palkia here to get a KO on the Rotom.
Oof. Yeah, so we're going to need to find...
Oh, and there's the Eerie.
Yeah. I think that's, kind of saw it coming, but...
They've been trying to get him for a while.
Yeah.
They were trying to hit him with the Misfortune Sisters, and they finally got them there.
So now, though, they still need to get, Ursaluna into the active. Or, honestly, Greninja is probably the better of the two. Depending on energy counts left. But
we do see the Pokemon League headquarters come down. Doesn't really affect the Palkia, but the Mimikyu in the active does. And it didn't look like we had any other outs to possibly seeing any more Dusknoirs come down.
Yeah, we need to find a Night Stretcher.
Which they're looking to mill out. We saw the Misfortune Sisters and the Eerie come back. Well, there's the Vacuum. Yeah, just draw pass. Not much you can do here.
Yeah, I don't think there was a worse combination of prizes for Callie.
As we see the Vacuum and 1 rare candy go.
Double Dusknoir, Greninja, and an Irida for sure were some of those prizes. So I think this is just now a sad, slow death.
Misfortune Sisters was probably guaranteed to get something.
Yeah, I think 2 Night Stretchers left.
Nope, I think there's only 1 left, and that got most of the cards out of there. Like I said, they're going to mill. That is their primary focus right now, is to mill out what's left in the deck to the point where they have nothing. we can Iono here, try and delay it. I don't think there's enough time to delay it for a tie.
Yeah, so if we can find the Night Stretcher before we lose everything.
Ooh, Zorosic.
So if we find Night Stretcher this turn, that means the next turn we can pop the Dusknoir.
When the biggest issue comes up, you don't have any other candies left.
Yeah. And I don't.
There's the Dusknoir, okay. Pass. That's about all you can do here. You can Dusknoir, KO the Mimic, you possibly get a KO on a Snorlax. There's a Snorlax that's probably going to be the fan one, so the fan's going to knock that back.
Let's see.
You've got to win in like 2 turns as well.
Yeah, I think Callie could end up 1 turn short. Oh.
Oh, now you just deck out. There's nothing you can do.
Yep. If that hadn't been a Pokemon and just been 2 supporters, we could have maybe, if one of those had been a boss, if it had been Iono boss, maybe. But yeah,
right,
Callie,
yeah,
that was just disgusting prizes. Holy smokes.
it was just like as soon as we saw that, I was like, oh god, no, not what you want to see. But we'll go ahead and update our standings here. See where everyone is currently at, as we're just waiting for one match. This is the beauty of when we get to the end here. Further down, it gets quicker and quicker. Guess who's number 1? Cloth Electro making the comeback.
If it hits the right meta, it's wild. I mean, you can do the Petulant Donk, which is just hilarious and so fun. And then if you hit something you can't donk, that's usually just 2 prizers that Cloth, like Raging Bolt, that Cloth just eats.
Yeah.
Callie, yeah, that makes sense when you realize you prize something as important as the Dusclops or the Dusknoirs to miss the Ninja.
Which was, again, just what we all said, brutal. It just shut everything down. I think Shira's match is the last match. Let me see. Yes, it is. So if you... Let's go over to Shira's channel. See how that's going. Currently 2 prizes to 4. It's got an ad. As we wait on my end for hopefully a game there was we see quite a few 2-2s, a 2-1 drop. Terapagos Dusknoir coming in at 4-0. We got Archeops 4-0, Poke4G with the Dragapult Dusknoir 4-0. Sadly, Arceus Dusknoir dropped to 3-1. So did Galvantula.
Dang.
Let's see if the ad's done. Nope. Just want to see that. That's the last match.
So, Doom, this weekend, how big do you think Terapagos is going to get?
I think that's good. I think it's going to be pretty large. I think after seeing the conversion rate, there's some people are going to get really into it. And
Yeah.
they're going to buy into it. I don't think it's going to be number one. I think Raging Bolt will probably still be number one. But here's the thing. You can't always take the European meta 100%. Because the European meta is, well, completely different from American. Like,
Yeah.
like if you really want to get older, we'll go to just some older Limitless tournaments here. I'm going to look up like 2019 pre-pandemic, before we had stuff like this. Let's see, 2018, 2019. Play selection. So don't went past 6 months either. It's 2018, 2019. Like special event Auckland and then the regionals and everything else were just different.
Yeah.
Fuck, I remember Zapdos. Zapdos was such a fun deck. The Magnus Peterson, like that wasn't even in America at the time. Playing Zapdos with the Cocos and Nihilego. Just wasn't there. Showed up afterwards. All right, last match is done. We're just going to keep moving because it is a Tuesday night and we just keep moving. All right, let's find ourselves a game.
I know that Tord is doing a masterclass on Terapagos. And, you know, it's now been enough time that people could either buy up their turtles and practice enough with them that I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people jump onto turtles.
I want to see if Asher or Hunter M is able to stream. They're both 4-0. It's turtles. Talking about turtles. Hunter M says they can. Awesome. So if we can get this game, it would be great. Asher 8282879 going up against Hunter M 586. Oh, there they are. Make sure do and move ourselves. All right. And to be honest, I've played almost 0 games with turtles. It's just not a deck I've played yet.
Yeah. I have not. I've played a little bit with them. And I think that now that there's some very clearly good lists, I could have done a little more, but yeah, I think that it takes, you know, I do like that even though turtles can win in, you know, under 5 turns, you're doing more actions in those like 2 or 3 turns than games that go, you know, over 5 turns. Is that Pokeballs?
Yes. We saw that earlier. They played Pokeball.
Huh.
Which is a very interesting thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're already flipping coins in Lugia with Mesagoza and, you know, aromas. So why not flip a few more?
Well, I'm double checking their list. I don't think they play Aroma. No, they do play Aroma. They do play Aroma, and they do play Pokeball. So Pokeball does get you anything. Isn't Great Ball just statistically more correct? I actually agree with that. You're more likely to hit off 7 than off a coin flip. But you know what? A coin flip's a coin flip. Sometimes if you're already doing a lot of it, might as well continue.
Yeah, let's see where this gets us.
See,
All
look,
right.
heads.
You know, it's any Pokemon too, which, you know, pretty good.
I remember when Pokeball was the only like Pokemon search card in format, but that was 25 years ago. So,
Yep.
I'm trying to remember what set we got Ultra Ball in. Double checking right now. I'm loaded.
Yeah.
I've loaded it up right now. Black and White Dark Explorers.
Okay, so I mean that's pretty far along.
But not super early. We got Great Ball in Fire Red and Leaf Green EX. And that one, the original Great Ball, was different. Yeah, Sandy Beach Dark Explorers. It was search your deck for a basic Pokemon, excluding Pokemon EX, and put it onto your bench. So Great Ball was essentially Nest Ball.
Yeah. Also, in this, I know that the research got them double chops in the discard.
Doot.
But with, you know, I also wouldn't have hated Iono, just to kind of disrupt this turtle's hand that we know has Knocked Owl in it. But Lugia is looking okay with only one Duskull over there.
So our current Great Ball showed up in so Black and White Emerging Powers.
So yeah, we kind of got our standard search in the Black and White era.
And it's been reprinted so many times. It's just like more and more and more. There was a time where I think it was one of the only ball search cards as well.
Yeah, it seems like Great Ball and Pokeball are the two they like to just stick around.
Right. I don't even know if there was ever a time that Pokeball was ever not printed. Well, not legal. There probably was. I know someone I could ask that, find out. Or the one there was Dual Ball. Sandy Beach just brought it up too. Where flip 2 coins for each head, search your deck for a basic Pokemon card.
All right. Well, in this, I mean, Trapagos just had a great second turn. And they're going to put... Oh, this is... Wait a minute.
This
Darkrai.
Is this the Darkrai version?
Let's see if they have another... Because you need the full bench to take out this Lugia, I believe.
Yeah, 1/1 Darkrai.
Yeah, recycle some of those item cards. I guess it's maybe a little easier to move around than like the Reggie Drago that we've seen. So
No, it does look like here we're going to try to get the Luminion back in the deck.
Yep, and I think it wouldn't be a bad idea either to take out either probably the Duskull on the bench if we can. That way we have a chance to set up Chinchilla. But we are not going to flip.
Yeah, I think going after the Duskull might be the right move here, because then it also prevents them from KOing your Lugia easily, because the Terapagos ends out at what, 220 with the current setup?
Yep.
So by taking out that Duskull, you set yourself up for a little bit more of a win condition, because then you can go after the Terapagos here with the Blood Moon Ursaluna next turn. And then you could gift and miss, okay.
So we're gonna just retreat, KO the turtle, which not bad, but
it will clear up a bunch of the bench.
Yeah, and yeah, they've got to reestablish, but they do have a Pidgeot and a Hoothoot and Pheasantipity for next turn. So I'm assuming we'll end up all right. But yeah, not having a second turtle down is not the greatest.
Where 240 takes a quick KO.
I wonder if that energy to the Luminion wasn't
Ooh, got the weird deer. The biggest issue you're running into now is finishing the game, which them using Dusknoir would give them the opening they need to finish the game. That's one of the most dangerous parts of using Dusknoir is you open up plays like that.
Yeah, and that Weird Ear in hand is actually pretty great because that gives them a way out of the Ursaluna that won't get KO'd next turn. And well, I guess unless they pop the Dusknoir, but nope.
Nope, we're going after the fishy. So the new issue becomes if they go after the fish, which where we were seeing like take out the Dusknoir and everything. Ooh, that Ursaluna as well is very painful. Oh, it's like now how do you win this?
Yeah. So if we can boss, just put that legacy energy down. You know, we take out the turtle perhaps with the Ursaluna or the Pheasantipity.
You kind of have to go after that Pidgeot. You could go after the Pidgeot if you had access to Iron Hands right now.
That is true.
You might not get the 3 prize turn, but you can still get it out of play easily.
Yeah, the problem is I think you have to attack with the Ursaluna this turn. Which this actually might be wrapped up with how the board's looking. Because you need something that can take a hit next turn, but they can just boss. Yes. I think this just might be game on board. Junk food, I think that the Darkrai is cooler, but I think I agree with Sandy Beach that the V-Star is better because it gets you anything rather than just items. And ideally you're only putting it in play to win the game. Or you should only be putting it in play to win the game. We could also see Briar coming out here. Oh, nope. Okay.
Like, Weirder could take a KO here, but
Sadly, yeah, we have 2 1-prizers left, and we can only legacy energy one of them. So you can boss around the legacy energy. So I think the Lugia is just cooked.
I'm gonna bring this up real quick because it's just a judge call. Okay, it looks like they got all set. There is a game with a 12-minute extension. It's you're and it's one of the hard things. Like, if your opponent disconnects, you can still do all your moves at a game and still take up all this time. So that's what the way it happened is between the 4 O's, so they have a time extension. See, okay, the legacy energy on the active makes things a little bit better. I feel like you probably go after the Dusknoir still. Nope, going after the Fez.
Because they only have 1 prize left, so they're not going to pop it.
That is true. And then you'll be down to 1 prize here as well. But if they have a boss's orders this game, which I don't know how many bosses they have left in deck.
Yeah, I saw there was 1 in the discard.
Guess we'll have to see. They do bring up the Mew. Well, Abumaye, Prime Catcher, doesn't matter. Looking at like KOing the Fez as well means they can't pop the Dusknoir anyways. But with so many different outs for them, it just didn't matter. Like, they had just so many different Gust cards.
Yep.
So, like, even looking at the list, there's 1 boss's orders, 1 Prime Catcher. So it just didn't matter. Like, going after the Fez didn't limit it. It just limited more options. It just seemed like they just had all they had everything set up. Like, that's the biggest thing about Pagos. Once it gets like the Pidgeot set up, it just seems like it's able to use Noctowls. It does pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you start Fan Rotom with the Turtles, it seems nearly unstoppable.
Which is funny. Sorry, I even talk about this the pre-release. I was like, Fan Rotom, I don't need that, and it turns out it's actually good in a deck. I did want the Noctowls. I knew the Noctowls were good, but I was just nope. Just the way it bees. Oh, Hunter just talked in the YouTube chat. He also has the Raikou. You couldn't find the Raikou.
Oh, yeah.
So the Raikou would have got rid of the Pidgeot. See, there it is. So they had another tech. Like, we were a little bit.
So it's like the Rahul list, but with Pokeballs.
T cards, personally, I haven't played Turtle. I haven't played Turtle. I have watched plenty of people play Turtle, though. Also, thank you for the follow. I'm on the fence about it. Like, I don't know fully how I want to say how it is. Like, playing against it, I play like Dragapult Dusknoir. Dragapult Dusknoir, I wouldn't say easy time against it. It's an interesting matchup because we kind of both go back and forth, and we're both using Dusknoir to pop. But if it can hit the damage and you can hit the Dusknoirs when you want to, then you're going to win because it's still doing a good deal of damage.
Yeah.
And they printed another card like Chaotic Swell. If you had that, if that was printed, that would kill the Turtle deck. But hopefully it's never printed again. Hunter also says in the YouTube chat that Pokeballs are statistically better than Great Balls, and that they're only really there to get chops in the discard pile early. So that is their reasoning about playing the Pokeballs over playing something like the Great Balls.
Interesting.
Which also, thank you for being able to stream your game. Always appreciate it. The Darkrai edition is pretty sick. Like in Daycamp, you were even talking about it, like the difference between Regidrago and Darkrai. Like each one has its own, well, its own benefits.
Yeah. And I'm not 100% sure if either are the best, but Darkrai seems a little less terrible to start. But like, I mean, I think if you're just starting them, you're probably cooked anyway, so.
At least you have outs to get out of it.
Yeah.
All right, checking some of these. Shura done? Yeah, Shura's done with theirs. So currently, the Pagos is number 1. Lucas Kong 4-1 number 2. We are waiting on codes and Poke4G, which that is the game with the extension where codes had a game crash right during setup. So we do what we call a reset, and the reset is where the player who did not crash, as long as it's within like the first turns, gets to choose first or second. And then if they don't like their starting hand for whatever reason, because your starting hand can be absolute crap, you get a chance to mulligan and reset the game.
With Cloth up against Darkrai, which is just a bad matchup, especially Dusknoir.
What's up, Rambo? We might need to go jump to a game. It looks like we have an issue going on. Where the game is it just froze.
Yep. We'll see here when the timer runs out. But yeah, we've got a frozen game. Snowrunt refuses to go into the discard pile.
Yeah.
We've got the relaxing sounds of the water for a water Pokemon coming through. Well, while this is trying to resolve itself, chat, we have Louisville coming up this weekend. Is anyone going? And even if you're not, what do you think the top 3 decks are going to be this weekend? We've seen Turtles and Dragapult have some pretty good success. I mean, will Rahul and Lugia just keep rolling? Raging Bolt will just seemingly get played all day one. Interested to hear people's thoughts.
This is such a weird thing. Like, we're looking at this game freeze. There's like no reason this game should freeze.
Yeah, and we even have timers counting down.
Everyone playing Thorns is going to show up with Lugia.
I wonder what the matchup data says about Lugia and like.
You know what? That is a good thing. We should have enough info now on Trainer Hill to tell us how some of these matchups go. So I am popping that open right now. Meta overview, most common matchups. Yes. So let's see. Lugia Archeops matchups. Currently 50.7% against Zard. It's little unfavored against Charizard, Dragapult, Pidgeot. Beating up Gardevoir. Completely loses Iron Thorns. Loses Miraidon.
Wow, it really just has 50-50s across the board.
Except for Iron Thorns and Snorlax.
Yeah. And Miraidon as well. Yeah, I mean, it's a deck that sets up and then, or it doesn't. And I mean, that's, if it does, it wins. If it doesn't, it loses.
I do wonder how much of these, like some of these losses, like how much of it is like players who maybe not as good with the deck or just had a poor start and like to drop after so much. Like there's so much you can look at the data, and usually when it's this close, with some of these, it's like, okay, what is the issue? What did you do here? Like outside of the big dark red Iron Thorns and the big blue against Snorlax, I mean, it's there. Like I've heard some people talk about Louisville bringing in a Snorlax, so then all of a sudden Lugia becomes way more. Where do you find this info? Trainerhill.com. I will link it to in chat here in a second. How they get the data is they scrape all the data from certain tournaments, and they usually what it is 50 players or more. So stuff like the Tournament of Doom shows up in there, and some of it shows up on I think this one will too, because we have 64 players. But you can see all these, and it's just the matchups, like how it's going. Like Snorlax Stall just runs over Miraidon right now, and that makes sense. All right. Yeah, we had a game crash that when we were watching Day Camp.
Yep.
It's the way we treat that, no matter what, however you put it. Like, I could do this, I could do that, I have this, I have that. That's all hypotheticals. We have to go based off of what we know. And what we know is someone's game crashed, and there's not much more we can do about it. And it sucks. Yep. And it's in one way, it's like the most heartbreaking call I can make. But it is what it is. Yeah, sure. I have you on. If you're still on stream, would you be able to stream your next round match for the technically finals? If you're able to. I can also see if your opponent's able to. We have a couple other players we could always grab, but I always like trying to get the 5-0s on just because it's technically the championship, the finals, so. We did have one of them, I think, so, the 5-0s ID'd.
That would be, yeah, just leave it up to Resistance.
Asher, but Gwen, I mean, we always bring you back on if you're able to, if you still want to play. I know you're 2-2, or maybe 3-2. We can always bring Iranova on as well at the 4-1, see who they play against. But that's Venomoth Frostlast. They've been doing pretty well with that. Now, mind you, we do have a 12-minute extension. Which really sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, Hunter, like, if you want to stream it again, also as a possibility, we have a couple of different people. Again, I hate to say I'm giving priority to the 5-0s. I'm going to give priority to the 5-0s. But anyone else after that, we can definitely stream. If anything, crab people would be pretty good. Crab people.
Grab people. Grab people.
Crab people. Especially considering this one's playing the Genesect, which is seeing a little bit more play because of the Ace Nullifier.
Yeah.
Oh, and there we go. The game finished. They had their time. So that was, sadly, looking at it, crab people lost. Womp womp. So Poke4G and Asher will be the double Dusknoir final. So we'll go ahead and get this going.
Yeah, Dusknoir is just too strong.
That brings up a thing, like, will we see a ban on it in some point in the future? Because a lot of these disc KO yourself or event, some sort of like extra cards, just takes up way too, it just becomes too strong.
Yeah. I think with how hesitant Pokemon is to ban cards, I think it would need to be it would need to be bigger than Lugia was.
Okay, so I'm asking Hunter and Iranova. They're both 4-1 as a possible stream game. There's Hunter, so we'll get them. I asked the 5-0s. It does not look like either one can, so I am just going to not worry about it. It happens. And one of the big things, like, it's always good to, like, if you're able to stream, not everyone can.
Yeah.
Like, we've had finals not be able to do it. I would definitely say Snorlax cannot be run on vibes, because you need to make sure you're always sequencing correctly and making sure you're grabbing the cards you need to be able to do so.
Yeah, there's a lot more prep and planning that goes into it than just instant charge.
Because like at some point you need to know what your win condition is do I need to sit there and mill all their cards out with Misfortune Sisters, and do I need to keep bringing them back as you sit there and use Team Yell Cheer into Pal Pad and Pal Pad into Team Yell Cheer, and just keep rotating through that sequence in the correct order, and then hopefully get something stuck in the active where you can go ahead and just win the game.
Yeah, eventually, if you do everything right, you end up on just vibes. But until you get there, it's a lot of prep. It's a lot of, okay, how many of this do they have left? How many should they have? Things like that. So, the ideal is to get to the instant charge Misfortune Sisters eerie past combos, but
because I know I have a friend who easily on the ladder got to like 2,500 just playing Snorlax, and part of it was because he had so many people just scoop when they get like so far.
Yeah, man, when I've played, because I was considering Blocklax for some tournament at some point, so I played it a bunch on the ladder, and I didn't hit a single person who wanted to just scoop. It was always we're gonna just sit here. It was so brutal.
My brother has the thing where he'll take extra long on turns against Blocklaxes, even if he's lost. Just saying, if you're willing to play control, you should be willing to sit through it.
Yep. And that's the kind of people I was hitting when I was testing it on live.
Here we go. Here goes the game. As this is 4-1-4-1, Iranova is playing has a couple outs. They do play not Wondrous Labyrinth. I loved Wondrous Labyrinth. Neutralization Zone. I see the pink and I just want to say Wondrous Labyrinth.
Neutralization Zone really has the potential.
The biggest thing
with
is
how many stadiums get played. And
Lugia here can just take it out most of the time.
Yep.
All right, so here, Junk Food Enjoyer. Here's the thing about it. We've actually had a judge call in the past about something similar. We had a player who had no win con. They prized their win con, and we knew it. And the thing was, though, they kept advancing their game state the whole time. So they just didn't sit there and take 15 seconds. They kept moving in a decent amount of time. What helped them the most about it was when they attacked with their Iron Thorns, they would have to move energy. And so they were just doing normal things and it's still playing the game. And like, I could have made a judgment call that there was no win condition, but they were still moving the game state along. They weren't just playing Ultra Ball and not grabbing anything. They would use the Ultra Ball, grab an Iron Thorn so they could move the energy and keep the time moving, which I thought was I thought that was brilliant on a way to like delay time. I was like, dang, right? But if they sat there Ultra Ball for nothing, played something else for nothing, they only played cards that made sense in that turn, and they did everything they could to at least make it seem like they were trying to get to that time, but they weren't slow playing it. I think their opponent realized too late and then started trying to mill their cards.
Yeah, you have to be, again, that's another, you have to be on top of what's my win condition. Now, in our game here, Venonats are starting to swarm, and we put down a jet energy onto the Raikou, which I'm not a big fan of because of the confusion that can happen with Venomoth.
Well, you're hoping to start getting some sort of attack here. But yeah, we have people we go into and we'll watch games. And I don't know if Sob ever becomes a thing, but it could. Where it's very obvious that they're stalling and everything else. Like I've come into a game with a Charizard with 3 minutes left on the timer. And I was like, oh yeah, no. I know you're not. And their bench was filled, they had all the energy. And I watched them over 2 turns take like 20 seconds to pass. And I was just like, nope. Oh, we got the legacy energy.
Never punished for not Ionoing when we know that they for sure have a Frostlass in hand and potentially more.
Like I have so many stories I could talk about people slow playing in these tournaments and different rule sharking and different things. The worst one, the most interesting call we've had to do now was last week actually. In the semifinals, we had a pair of Block Laxus stuck in an infinite loop between each other, and the other one couldn't get the Chi Yu in the active, and the other one didn't have a way to take prizes. So at no point either player could attack. And they both had Pidgeot Vs, and they had the bench space to put the Pidgeot V down and just continuously do that. Like I was a little surprised we didn't see like an Erica's Hospitality as a possibility or something. I think that's actually how they got set up in that. And just like, yeah. Audrey, that's actually how we did it. The higher seeded player wins. That is actually how we did it. Because I went and looked it up. I was like, I wonder how this goes. And then I looked it up and it's like, yep, highest player wins and highest seed player. And so the highest seed moved on. And didn't help that they were both 1-1. I mean, the set was split 1-1.
So I guess if they get a mist energy, they're safe from confusion.
That's what we gotta be looking for. They're taking prizes, which is one of the important things to be in this stack, is taking prizes. The Venomoth wants you confused and not using items and not being able to take prizes. As we see another Venomoth come down, and the question is, do they have the grass energy?
So yeah, they just going for the solo Raikou, which I guess
Works.
You know, if they can't, if they keep just hitting, I mean, they have, I think, one more jet after this one before they can hopefully they find a miss. Ooh, Temple but luckily they have the Mesa Goza in deck. Or in hand, excuse me.
I know Iranova here is trying their hardest to keep sharing this deck. They really wanted like people to take it seriously, and they've done very well in the challenges. I think they've made a top 8 in the challenge of Doom. The tournament of Doom, but I don't know if they've done it anywhere else.
Yeah, not being able to get those Frost Lasts out has really slowed things down, because this Raikou, if it had been taking 40 damage, would be on its last legs here.
Mezzo goes a flip into the head, so we're probably going to see another Venonat come down. Oh, going for the Frostlass.
We might be out of Venonats, honestly. Or at least down to, I think that's one in the actives, at least the third one.
They do play a 4-4 line, so there is a possibility of it still coming back into play.
Ooh, and here comes
the neutralization zone. So we have some games to finish. Anikarak with Dragapult. I believe that's the Dragapult Zatu. Yes, Dragapult Zatu at 5-1. Currently, most other games are still playing at the higher levels. So, do you see the Lugia? But do they have any Archeops in the discard?
Should have one.
Is one worth it?
I think that's all you need to take it out with the rat.
Right?
Whoa, Sandy Beach, big spender.
I know, coming in with the I hate breakfast. That's a big one. It's a rarity though. I think that's only like the second or third time that's been redeemed. I love breakfast. Get some good bacon. Like I almost cooked bacon tonight just for dinner, but instead I went picked up pizza from Costco because it was dropped on me like at 4:15. Mrs. Jim was like, I don't feel like making dinner. And I was like, well, I didn't plan anything, so Costco pizza it is, family.
Easy pizza, can't go wrong.
$10 feeds the whole family. Like as means of takeout, it works.
Yep.
So spending like I want to get the Krabby Patty from Wendy's. If everyone in my family got one, that'd be easily almost $50.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, there's the Nat. We're still not out of it yet. But we do see the mist energy on the active. So confusion's not going to happen.
I think that it's just over. I don't think we're going to run out of energy to retreat anytime soon. And we just need, 2 energy to retreat next turn, max.
Get some of these item cards out. Get a couple other things set up. Right, Buck? It's crazy. And it takes me 10 minutes tops, like to drive there because I live pretty close to one, and get it and just be done. I would put the 4-pack. I would get the 4-pack, but the problem is right now my deep freezer is full of just beef. Our cow came in, and by cow I mean the half a cow we bought. A whole bunch of ground beef, whole bunch of steaks. I need to thaw one of the steaks. I've been wanting that. I had a tooth replaced, half a tooth replaced today. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta test that new cap out. All right. Asher is our tournament challenge of Doom winner tonight with the Terrapagos Dust Noir as he just came in. And coming in with that Darkrai. Gotta be coming in clutch. Yes, it is a very good problem to have is that everything in hand and the act can be taken out of the active. This game feels like it's pretty much over.
Yeah. Venomoth never really found its, pieces and Frostlasses to start doing real damage, and Lugia just always had a jet ready to get rid of that confusion.
Which is hoping every time to have those confusion flips go their way.
And I mean, yeah, never even got energy on the monkey to
even move the damage.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
So yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's where it ends. And that Sally Ironova not able to take it there over Hunter, and Lugia doing Lugia things. Like we were talking about, is Lugia still good? And like Raul's been really good with it, but also like he's just straight up good with the deck.
Yep.
So with that, we're gonna get ready to call it a night here. I'm gonna send everyone off to High Flyer UK. High Flyer is one of the most comfiest late night streamers I know of. It's actually morning for him of all things. He likes to do his dailies and the TCG, and it's one of those things just to watch. Like just watch a man who just wants to play the TCG. Dude.
Yep.
Buck Trainer, thank you for the follow as well. Dickcamp, any like self promotion you want to give before we call it a night here?
Not really. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can C_butts22. Yeah, you can see me post about Pokemon and really just political things. So.
And I'm your tournament organizer, MC, and overall very lumberjacky guy, Senior Doom. I will be back Friday with the Tournament of Doom, which will hopefully be we'll see how packed it gets. We've been averaging well over 230 players the last few weeks, but with a Louisville regional, I expect that number to be a bit lower. Maybe we'll have an easier week. We'll have to see. But again, have fun with High Flyer, and I will see you on Friday.